Football and Rangers and RB Salzburg have completed a deal for Danny Roll to join the Austrian Bundesliga outfit. The 37-year-old will depart despite insisting he was committed to the summer rebuild at the Ibrox club. Also in football, and midfielder Bernardo Silva has joined Real Madrid on a 2-year deal, linking up with manager Jose Mourinho. Silva left Man City at the end of last season, bringing an end to a trophy-laden 9-year spell. Also in football, and Hull could face points deductions in the Premier League in the upcoming season. The Tigers have an overspend of about £6 million on their profit and sustainability calculation. Under the English Football League rules, that could lead to a 6-point penalty. Cycling now, and Belgium's Wout van Aert is set to miss next month's Tour de France with an elbow injury. The 31-year-old is a key rider for his team Visma alongside four-time Grand Tour winner Jonas Vingegaard. Van Aert suffered the injury after falling in training before last week's Tour Avon Rhône Alpes stage in France, and an infection developed in his elbow. Moving on to rugby union now, and Max Ujoma and Noah Kalaori will have the chance to press their case for test starts after being named
Austria, ranked 24th. The game has just kicked off. It's 8 p.m. for us. It's the SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California that hosts these two sides. The home of the LA Rams and the LA Chargers from the NFL. An early free kick here for Austria, who've taken it quickly and then moving the ball between themselves in the back for Austria. In the all-white, they go from right to left in the opening 45 minutes, and Spain going the other way with the very familiar red shirt and the navy blue trim. Austria early down the left-hand side with Sabitzer, got some room and some space, but into the area is cleared away by Kubasi, comes back for Lima, deputising at left back this afternoon. Now back into Sabitzer around the corner, pocket pick though. Here's Yamal going up the other way. There's a surge of red shirts coming forward. Run them on the left-hand side. Here we come. Spain coming forward. Cut back to Yamal. Moves it towards the edge of the area. Early strike from Yamal's on target, but it's straight into the arms of the goalkeeper, Alexander Schlager. But it's a lightning quick start. So quick, in fact, I couldn't even introduce my co-commentator. It's myself, Tom Wilson, joined by Kieran Graham. And what a start.
Yeah, what a start. And I tell you what, if you're Austria, the one player you don't want racing through in acres of space is Lamine Yamal, and he lets them off early doors in this one, just trying to find his feet. But it was a decent opening 60 seconds for Austria, wasn't it? Bombing down the left-hand side, balling behind for Marcel Sabitzer, who seems to be playing on the left today, as he has done within this tournament. He couldn't really get it spot on, and then Lamine Yamal stepped in. He didn't just have the chance himself, he created it. It all started from him. Defensive work rate from the young superstar, but yeah, quite high tempo, high action start to this game.
Yeah, it's a slow start to the tournament, of course, for Lamine Yamal coming into the World Cup. Not fully fit. He didn't play 90 minutes in the opening two group games. That's a brilliant challenge there from Danso to deny Spain another attack. Ball forward is headed away. Bit of head tennis ensues. Drops into the centre of the pitch. There's a mistake at the back there, which Kubasi luckily makes up for. Spain leaving just one defender back as Austria came forward with two up front. One of those was Gregoritz. He's one of three changes that Ralf Rangnick has made from his side's 3-3 draw, a thriller in the final of their group games with Algeria. Lienhart, Mwene and one of the goal scorers in that game, and Nautovic, have been dropped to the bench. Danso and Varna, the other two, coming in. Spain boss Luis de la Fuente has made just two changes from his side's 1-0 victory against Uruguay. That saw them top the group. I'll bring you those in a second, but here come Austria. Early ball into the area, and again Kubasi's there to sweep up. That's 3 times now that the furthest defender back for Spain has been there. If he hadn't been there, Austria may have been in.
Yeah, a real high line for Spain that Austria have done really well to get through on a couple of occasions. Just seen that touch back earlier on from Alex Baena. It was a lovely touch, but a great challenge in from Kevin Danso flying across. But yeah, a couple of times now Spain have been very high, and just a little direct ball down the channel has caused a lot of problems. It's just the final ball in hasn't been the best. Long throw from Danso.
Yeah, and it is a long one. Headed away though by Laporte, his 50th cap for Spain this evening. Danso gets the loose ball back, returns towards halfway where Lima picks up the ball now, steps over it as Olmo struts towards him. 3.5 minutes gone. Spain 0, Austria 0. You're listening to Off-Tube Independent Studio-based commentary. And a lightning start from Spain, with Yamal already having the first shots on target, but denied by Alexander Schlager. Austria in safe possession. I mentioned 2 changes for Spain. Those are Porro and Olmo coming in for Llorente and Merino. Here is Olmo. Now here's Yamal. Could be an opening here. Left-hand side. The ball slightly behind Baena. He's going to keep it alive. Tries to swing it in. Deflected cross falls for Yamal. He goes down outside the area. Referee not interested. Back onto his feet, Yamal into the area. Blocked by Danso. And out for a corner. Well, the 18-year-old, as he so often does, is running the show.
Yeah, he's had a really bright start in this one. He looks eager as well, doesn't he, to really make his mark. He went down. He probably was fouled on the edge of the box. It was a bit over-aggressive in the back of him. But he got straight back up. He didn't really roll around wanting the free kick, and he got back up and he made a great run to get it back off Baena. He's definitely been the live wire in this opening 5 minutes or so. Corner coming up for the Spaniards.
Yeah, it's going to be a ball towards the edge of the area, touched by Pedri, back towards the corner taker. In-swinger from Baena, front post, nodded away. Only as far as the corner of the box on the right-hand side, where Gregoritz keeps it going. That's going to be a foul. No, he's actually stayed on his feet there, the Austria man, as they play forward down the left for Sabitzer. He's in a foot race with Olmo. Sabitzer does get there in front of the Barcelona man. Sabitzer cuts back onto his right, plays it towards Conrad Lima, the full-back. Those two combining on a number of occasions already this evening. 5 minutes into the game, still 0-0. Got himself into a corner there is Javier Schlager. Have to go back towards their own half. And Austria knocking the ball between themselves now inside their own territory. I'll bring you the full 11s when I think I'll get away with it. But at the moment, it's a lightning start to the game as the ball goes in behind. Simon off his line. He did get there first, but the flag's gone up anyway. So it will be an offside. Spain have had the better, well, only really one chance in the corner as well, of course. But it's Austria who were trying to maintain possession of the ball more, aren't they? Spain almost having to play on the counter because Austria are happy to keep it.
Yeah, Austria's approach when trying to predict it before kick-off was quite hard to predict. Are they going to maybe just sit and see what Spain can do, or are they going to believe that they can maybe hurt them as well from the start? Austria aren't sitting back, are they? Yes, Spain are enjoying the better moments, but Austria are definitely going for it themselves. Maybe that's why Spain are enjoying a couple of counter-attacks, which maybe they don't usually get the space to do. But Austria, they're definitely leaving gaps, but they look dangerous themselves.
Spain, of course, the winners of the competition in 2010, but they've actually lost the previous 2 knockout games that they've had in World Cup since that final victory over the Netherlands. In South Africa, of course, they'll be the hosts as well in the 2030 iteration of the tournament. They, Portugal and Morocco, will be another try-hosters as Spain have the ball inside their own half. Then just over the threshold for the captain, Rodri moves it infield into the centre circle for Pedri. Pedri tries to play it forward, just about squeaks it through to Orizabal. And now here's Yamal on the right-hand side. He's going to be doubled up by Lima and Sabitzer. He goes back towards Porro, ball into the area, shot comes in, it's blocked. It was almost struck it sweetly on the volley, but there was a couple in white.
I think he hit his own man. It looked like it came off Oyarzabal. Maybe I'm incorrect, just from live viewing. We've not seen it back just yet. But it'll be interesting to see where that was actually going from, almost, especially if it hit his own man.
Cucurella on the underlap, tries to keep it alive. Last touch off a Austria player, according to the referee. So it's going to be another Spain corner. Great work there from Olmo. I think we're going to see a replay now of that volley. He did catch it really well, Kieran.
Yeah, he did. Like I said, it'd be interesting to see where it was going. Especially if it went and hit his own man. Oyarzabal was hard to tell, but on live viewing, like I said, I thought it came off this Spanish forward. We've not seen it back just yet.
Yeah, we didn't get that replay. We are going to get another corner though by in-swinger. Right arm in the air, right boot at the ball towards the front post. Laporte wins it. He can't direct it goalwards, or maybe he would have done, but Danso was there to block it. 8 minutes in, Spain 0, Austria 0. Another set piece for Luis de la Fuente's side. Laporte making first contact. I'm not sure it comes off an Austria player, that one, but there's going to be another corner anyway. Baena. And there we go. There we get the right decision in the end. We saw the replay. It didn't look like a corner, so it's good that the VAR have seen that as well.
Yeah, exactly. Something to get used to. I think they've definitely picked and choose in this tournament when that rule gets used, though, because I've seen so many incorrect goal kick corner decisions not get overturned. So that's where it's got quite confusing for me. What warrants them to change it? That one, but yeah, we could tell in the replay that the wrong decision was taken initially.
Lamine Yamal again causing problems down that right-hand side. Conrad Lima, who's been asked to go up against the young 18-year-old this evening, so far has done okay. We're only 9 minutes in, not even double digits yet, and Yamal's already had a shot on target, albeit that was from the left as he moved over cross field, so that wasn't exactly Lima's area. As Pedro Porro prepares to take a throw, the Spurs and Spain fullback just been asked to wait by the referee and then asked then to take it. Goes backwards towards Kubasi, swings the ball into the area. Goalkeeper comes off his line, punches under pressure, still alive as it's flicked on by Arizabal and then cleared away, and the flag has gone up on the far side, and offside I think on Aymeric Laporte. I can't imagine that would have been a free kick. There's no one near Schlager as he went up for that one. 10 minutes into the game, Spain 0, Austria 0. Spain, of course, much talked about that this is the first World Cup squad in a long time without any Real Madrid players. At least when the tournament started. They do have one now in Marc Cucurella, who completed his move from Chelsea as the tournament kicked off. And Spain now beginning to control the ball, as we've seen them do for it seems like decades now. This style of play, frustrating their opponents. That's a good ball to Olmo. Tries to put it through the legs of Danso. In doing so, he's fouled. That'll be a free kick, and Spain swarming up.
Yeah, it's not a great challenge in the end. It looked like he maybe got a touch on the ball initially, but then he brought his man down. Spain are just starting to get better as the minutes tick along, aren't they? They're getting their groove in this one. I covered Spain against Cape Verde when it was 0-0, and they really struggled to obviously get that goal. Yamal's just gone down in the penalty area. Not enough in it for me.
Yep, he's gone down, he's stayed down. He is just getting back to his feet as play continues. Olmo has it. Goes backwards towards Pedri. He started well as well. Looks really light on his feet. Here's Cucurella towards the left-hand side for Baena. Seen a little bit from him so far. He's taken 3 corners. Cucurella to Baena with the defender to beat. Cuts onto his right, then on his left. Ball into the area is blocked. It's going to be another set piece for Spain. It's 11 minutes in. Spain 0, Austria 0. Seen a replay of Yamal trying to go round to Conrad Lima. The 18-year-old is certainly in full confidence, and he said that it's not a penalty. It's definitely not.
No, it's not. It's just a bit too strong for him. He's Conrad Lima there, a player who can play absolutely anywhere, it feels, and we've seen him play in so many different positions. Looks to be a left back today so far, whereas usually we'd see him in midfield or at right back, but yeah, doing a good job there.
Baena's ball in towards the front post, headed away by Lima, drops on the edge as the challenges go in. Pedri tries to win it, flicked away by Sabitzer. Only his father was the furthest man back in an outfield shirt in Pedro Porro. He flicks it over. Here's Baena, Arizabal, who's been involved in 3 of the 5 goals that Spain have scored so far at this tournament. He's in real fine form, not just at the World Cup, but he's got 22 goal contributions in his previous 15 international games that he's started. It's unbelievable from the Real Sociedad man. He really has been the man of the moment, whilst Lamine Yamal's not been at full fitness. He can't get onto the end of that ball though, as Austria win it back. A real strong press and an equally aggressive challenge from Marc Cucurella, and then he's followed that up with a few choice words for the official as well. So 3 really brash moments from Marc Cucurella, who's never too far away from a little talking to from the referee. It's going to be a free kick when Glenn Nyberg is ready. He's a Swedish official taking charge of the game today. He also refereed Ghana's 1-0 victory against Panama and Ivory Coast's 2-0 win against Curaçao as well. 13 minutes in, still goalless in the SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. As Kevin Danso tries to play the ball forward, it comes off Arizabal. It will be a throw-in on that right-hand side. Spain have, of course, made a habit, or rather got used to, Kieran, having such a good, successful team without a recognised striker. Arizabal, he is a forward player. He can play in multiple positions, but they don't mind that they haven't got, a recognised out-and-out striker, a la Haaland or Kane or someone like that. They don't care that they haven't really got that at their disposal.
Yeah, they don't. And Azabal's been very good in this tournament as well. Ferran Torres played a little bit at the start, and he was really struggling, in my opinion, in front of goal. It seems to have always been that kind of forward. I think Gregoric has just put a foot in on a challenge on Laporte, and I think he's hurt himself in doing so. But yeah, Spain, they're never going to really try and play with that tiger man. Morata had quite a bit of success as a natural number 9, but they seem that type of team that they're okay without it.
Yeah, not in the squads. Alvaro Morata. A few forward options. A few options still yet to play as well for both sides, actually. For Spain, Simon Cucurella, Kubasi and Laporte have played every single minute so far. Garcia, Grimaldo, Pubel, Zubamendi, Iglesias and Munoz have all been unused as outfield players. Of course, the other 2 goalkeepers as well, David Raya and the other Garcia, still yet to feature. As a man down here for Spain, as the referee blows his whistle. He's just coming across to check that Mikel Ridabal is okay. He gets a pat on the back from Mikel Gregoric. Seeing a replay of it now. It was David Alaba, who we haven't quite mentioned just yet. He didn't mean anything, they just ran into each other. Yeah,
they did. They just collided into each other. He's had a couple of those already. David Alaba, referee getting very involved in the opening 15 minutes or so. I think he's trying to make his points very clear. In this tournament, there's been, of course, a lot of noise about the lack of cards shown in it. I believe it's the lowest average cards in a World Cup since maybe the 1970s. It's been quite a big thing, and I've noticed it in quite a few games over the past week or so. We've seen quite clear card-worthy challenges not given, so it's been interesting.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't have thought that, would you, after the 2 that South Africa sustained?
Yeah.
You'd have thought that would have set the pace, but it didn't, as Porro has it down the right-hand side. He's been put under pressure there from an Austria man. The referee has deemed that pressure too forceful. It was Schmidt, who we've, again, not really mentioned too much. It will be a free kick. Spain 0, Austria 0, 16 minutes into the game. You're listening to Off-Tube Independent Studio-based commentary. And the Euro 2022 winners are being held at the moment by European opponents. Austria, who have not made it this far into the World Cup since 1954. It's been over 70 years since they've made it this far. This iteration, of course, the first World Cup that they've qualified for since 1998. 6 tournaments that they've gone without featuring. But they're here. They're into the round of 32. At the moment, they're holding their own. They've got themselves a chance to get through to the round of 16. The winner of this game will play the winner of Portugal-Croatia. That will be in Arlington, Texas on the 6th of July. So a quick turnaround, and that's the way it goes at this stage of the competition. The games come thick and fast if you can make your way through the rounds. As the ball goes forward away from Kabasi, Olmo tries to bring it down. Good touch on halfway from Varna, goes round the corner, and Austria will keep the ball. There's an obvious, I'd say, mismatch in terms of physical advantage at one end of the field, and that's Austria's defenders are much bigger, much stronger than Spain's attackers, which is great. In the air, it's working for them. It does balance out as you look sort of towards the other end of the field, as Austria come forward towards that end now with Sabitzer. Cuts in on his right, ball into the air. It looks a decent one. It's a great chance. It's just over the head of Mikel Gregoric, who's in the side today, replacing Marko Arnautovic. He just couldn't find that extra inch to get his head on the ball.
Yeah, and I'm going to be quite critical of the forward as well. He never really looks desperate to get there, does he? He's a big striker, and he barely gets off the ground. He barely lunges towards it. It's almost like he was stuck in mud, wasn't he? He couldn't really bring himself up, and it's a great ball from Sabitzer. I think he's probably been Austria's best player so far. He looks quite dangerous on the left-hand side. A little bit similar to what we said about Konrad Lehmann. Can play so many positions, very versatile. But here comes Spain now.
Porro on the underlap, ball into the areas, curling away from the box. It'll eventually find the feet of Alex Baena, who really had to retreat to get that ball under control. Here's Dani Olmo out towards Cucurella, back towards the Barcelona man, in towards Rodri. Now here's Pedri. They're moving it quickly, one way then the other, but now in a dangerous position. They've had to go back and retreat till halfway. 18 minutes gone. Spain 0, Austria 0. That first hydration break just around the corner. Here's Lamine Yamal, who gets the ball around the corner. He's doubled up once again. Drops it back to Porro. Dink ball into the air. It looks a dangerous one. Goalkeeper comes and gets it. It was a cross-come shot in the end. Not what they needed there, Spain.
Yeah, it felt like one of those where Pedro Porro wanted to put a bit of loft, a little bit of spin on it, that if it evaded everyone, might have caused the goalkeeper a problem. I think he just gets a little bit too much loft. Those type of ideas and techniques, they've got to be whipped haven't they? They've got to be hard. They've maybe got to bounce before the goalkeeper can meet it to make it really hard for him. But yeah, it's a bit of a waste again. But here comes Yamal.
Yeah, Yamal once more. I feel like we're going to say his name a lot this evening. He's lost possession though as he tried a 1-2 with Arizabal, who, despite me bigging him up, has started a little bit slowly. He's also taken a knock to the head a few minutes ago, so we'll keep an eye on that as Sabitzer now is fouled. 19 minutes gone, still 0-0. It was Pedro Porro in his back. The Dortmund man making his 102nd appearance for his country. Marcel Sabitzer, of course, once of Manchester United, playing now under Ralf Rangnick once again for Austria. As the ball goes back with Alexander Schlager, the goalkeeper. 2 Schlagers in the Austria team. Javier Schlager making his 55th appearance. RB Leipzig midfielder. Here's Danso of Tottenham Hotspur up against, of course, his teammate in Pedro Porro. Round the corner, Austria keep possession. 20 minutes gone. They're just trying to settle things down now. The second place team in Group J. 3-1 victory to open the tournament against Jordan. Then a 2-0 loss against Lionel Messi's Argentina. And of course that thriller with Algeria, 3-3 draw. They scored and conceded in stoppage time in that one. And as a result they did make it through to the round of 32. They've now gone 12 World Cup games though in a row without a clean sheet, not since 1982. They succeeded to keep the other team from scoring. And Spain come forward. They're on a run themselves. It's a positive one though. They have amassed a decent unbeaten record now of 13 games in all competitions. Here's Lamine Yamal on the right hand side. That run of 13, of course, helped by, that's a lovely piece of skill from Yamal on the right hand side. Again, he got 2 to beat. Lima comes back. That's a little aggressive from Lima, and as a result, it's actually done him a favour because he's won the ball back. He's able to clear up towards the big man up top, Gregoritsch, who can't keep it under control. 21 minutes in. Few legs there from Yamal. They won't like that, Austria.
No, they won't. And it was really well recovered in the end from Konrad Lehmer and Sabitzer. Sabitzer's sliding challenge was fair. Konrad Lehmer was very fair into the tackle as well. But Lamine Yamal, he's got those type of tricks endlessly in the locker, hasn't he? They've just got to get him involved even more. Keep getting him to do that. Gregoritsch is struggling up front, in my opinion, for Austria. Nothing's really sticking to him. You've got Arnautovic on the bench, who's more of your hold-up, more physical type number 9. You wonder whether he'd get called upon if it carries on like this.
Yamal back towards Rodri. Rodri back once again. Spain, of course, kicked their tournament off with that now infamous 0-0 draw against Cabo Verde. Then a 4-0 victory against Saudi Arabia. Ball over top towards Arizabal, who tried to get on the end of it. Danso in the end does just enough. High fives and chest bumps David Alaba, the Austria captain. And again, Arizabal struggling to get involved in play. I don't think they'll mind it, as I mentioned earlier, Kieran, but it is something just to note because I think Spain like when everyone gets involved in the build-up, and he has struggled to get on the ball.
Yeah, he has. I'm quite surprised about that so far because, like I said, he's a very good player in this Spain side. He's a good player in general with Real Sociedad in La Liga too, but up against Kevin Danso and David Alaba, quite experienced, more physical centre halves. It's almost like, I think he's spot on. It's not necessarily just his fault. The game's kind of just being played around him. It's almost like he's a decoy. Distract someone and we'll play around you. Just there, Oyarzabal dropped a bit deep, created a bit of space to go to the right-hand side where they tried to get Yamal involved more. This time it's a bit more overhit, goes into the keeper's hands. But I think the idea is quite obvious. Oyarzabal's movement right there kind of just tells us the story that they maybe think that his movement can get others involved in better areas.
Yeah, I think they need to occupy at least one of those two that are on the feet of Lamine Yamal. Sort of exemplified there by that ball in behind. Pedro Porro put a little bit more on it, I think, because he was aware that there was a couple of defenders around the 18-year-old. As a result, though, there was too much, and it went through to the goalkeeper. 23 minutes in, Spain 0, Austria 0. The referee, Glenn Nyberg's just blown his whistle, so that, of course, signifies the end of the first quarter of the game. Halfway through the first half, we're on to the hydration break. If you're just joining us, listening to Off-Tube independent studio-based commentary, the biggest moment of the game probably came in the first minute when Lamine Yamal went through on the left-hand side. It was a tame shot which was saved by Alexander Schlager. There was a half chance for Austria as well, but Michael Gregoritsch couldn't quite find that extra yard off the ground to get his head on the ball. It went over his head and out of play for a goal kick. As I say, we are halfway through the first half. I'll hand over to Kieran to take you through to half time.
Yeah, thank you very much, Thomas. Lamine Yamal's going through some instructions with substitute Ferran Torres. Of course, he's club teammate at Barcelona. Yamal's also in discussion with others. Eric Garcia, another fellow Barcelona man. The hydration break seems more necessary in this game than it has done in certain ones. It looks like it's absolutely scorching the ground. The sun beaming down. Players already using the ice packs, but sometimes it's barely not looked that warm in some games, and they've still used it anyway. It's been controversial, hasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly has. But it's that thing. I think I've heard people say, well, they clearly don't need it. It's not that hot, it's not that humid today. Particularly the games in Canada, colder than the US and of course Mexico. But if you give it to one team, give it to one game, you have to give it to them all. It's an unfair advantage. You think of a team, let's say Spain get a hydration break in every single game, and I don't know, Argentina don't. They'll have played maybe an extra hour, maybe an extra hour and a half of football. That's not even if they go to extra time, right? So it can be an advantage, particularly when the games are coming so thick and fast. But yeah, it has been. I mean, it has been commercialised as well, which we're very much aware of. Some people have said, it slows down the game. It gets in the way. We saw yesterday with England. I think the hydration break in the second half gave them a little bit of a boost. They came together. Yes, they made changes, and that helped as well. But whatever Thomas Tuchel said, whatever the players said to each other in that moment certainly helped. They came out firing, and the game was all the better for it.
Yeah, I think it's always favoured someone. And it's usually only been one team rather than both. It's never going to favour both, really, is it? Which is, I think that's the main frustration of it. It's not something I think anybody wants to see brought into club football, and I'm sure it wouldn't be. But you wouldn't need hydration breaks in England at any time of the year.
No.
We're lucky to get a nice weather game on the opening fixtures in August these days, aren't we? So, yeah, that's never happened. But, yeah, some games it's been frustrating.
Yeah, the first game of the season and the last game of the season, the sun's usually out, and then it goes away for 9 months or whatever it is. But, yeah, no, I can't see it being rolled out across world football. I mean, the reaction from the fans, for one thing, the booing. One thing I will say is you don't often hear boos for VAR. So the fact that the fans are booing the hydration break, and we know how much they hate VAR, they must really hate the hydration break. So, yeah, no, it's definitely not going to be rolled out. There's the argument as well, like why don't they just stop the clock and all that. But yeah, we're luckily only a couple of seconds away, I think, from the game restarting now.
Yeah, we've fallen into the trap of very American tendencies in this World Cup, haven't we? Of the style of what you see more in American sports, where people say stop the clock, which of course happens in American sports. The hydration breaks, the little breaks, games almost been played in 4 quarters. But we're too deep in this tournament now for it still to really be that much of a topic, which it still is. Of course, journalists, etc., love talking about it, love making a big fuss around it, but the players seem to be quiet on it. So we now see Cucurella with the ball in hand. We're finally ready to get back underway in this one. 27 minutes on the clock, so a 4-minute hydration break there between the two sides. As we now see Porro goes to the right-hand side for Yamal. He's up 1v1 against Lema. And then gets a bit of help off a bit. It's a lovely little back heel down the line for Porro, and he whips it in. It's completely overhit. Terrible delivery from Pedro Porro. Great bit of improvisation from Lamine Yamal in the build-up, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Lamine Yamal's getting doubled up, so you can understand why he's happy to play that ball on the underlap to Pedro Porro or on the overlap. He goes with the former on this occasion, does the Spurs defender. And it's a good run, and as you say, it's a lovely bit of improvisation. It's a piece of confident play from Yamal, but the cross from Porro not good enough. He tries to whip it. You can see what he's trying to do. I think he just gets underneath it.
Yes, you now see Laporte. He's ready to scoop it long up towards Oyarzabal, who's battling with Danso. Another great header away from Kevin Danso, who I wonder what his future's maybe telling for Tottenham in the coming weeks, with them signing a couple of new centre-halves, still having Romero and Van de Ven. But Spinner on the attack. What a turn that is from Olmo. Wow, that would have been special. It is an unbelievable last-ditch challenge from Stefan Posch there, who just stops Olmo from going for goal from a few yards out. The spin and the turn in the build-up from Dani Olmo was unbelievable through the legs of Danso. Wow.
Yeah, Dennis Bergkamp-esque, wasn't it? Just couldn't get the finish. The defender comes across. It's a really good challenge, actually, from Stefan Posch to deny him, but initially brilliant from Lamal once again.
Yeah, Lamine Yamal ready to take this corner. He hangs it up towards the back post. The goalkeeper makes a mess of it. Cucurella with a strike. And Spain have taken the lead. Is it ruled out? I don't think it is, or is it? As Cucurella is now frustrated, it is going to be ruled out, and he's having to be calmed down by Lamine Yamal. It's because of a challenge on the goalkeeper. They're all maybe pleading their innocence, especially those involved in Spain, because the goal doesn't stand for the time being. The goalkeeper made a bit of a mess of it. Tom, let's take a closer look.
Yeah, I'm just going to have an eye on the referee and see when he blows the whistle, because I think he might blow it before it goes in. No, he doesn't. So it's not that's the issue. It's clearly something else that's gone on. I can only imagine it's the challenge on the goalkeeper. There's a header which comes in from Rodri. Of course, he doesn't get the ball. In doing so, it's almost like a domino effect. There's a couple that collide into the goalkeeper. He tries to punch. For me, it's not a foul.
Never.
I don't think it's a foul. I think they'll give it as a foul. I think it will be a disallowed goal. But for me, it's not. It's a muddle. No one's really challenging the goalkeeper. He's decided to come over the top. He's initiated the contact by trying to get the ball. The defender's not done anything wrong. Kabasi's just standing still, and it's actually his own player that gets in the way because of the collision. But the goal's not going to stand.
We've already restarted. That is just woeful. How on earth is that a free kick? I mean, Kabasi doesn't lunge into him. He just stands his ground and plays the ball. If anything, the goalkeeper makes the forward motion towards Kabasi, which means technically he's collided with Kabasi, but he's just not strong enough and more off balance because he's jumped. So he goes to the deck. There's another decision pretty similar that really frustrated me that had the same outcome, and I can't remember what the game was in this tournament for the life of me, but that is just not a good decision, in my opinion. It just feels like they've just seen a load of bodies around the goalkeeper and thought he must have been fouled, because they've not looked at it for that long either. It was maybe stopped for 30 seconds, 40 seconds and back underway. I don't know, Tom. I really think that's a poor decision.
Yeah, I've got to agree. I mean, the referee was pretty quick to blow the whistle. VAR were pretty quick to say, yep, you've made the right decision. I think the goalkeepers always will and always have got the benefit of the doubt in those sorts of situations. For me, it's the wrong one. You have to say, though, it's a good ball in, isn't it, from the right-hand side, and it's an emphatic finish from Marc Cucurella. He's only got one goal for his country. That came against Bulgaria, and that was back in September. Here he is again.
Yeah, Cucurella now finds Pedri, who turns around. We've not seen much of Pedri, or we've not said his name too much. He may have had a lot of the ball, but nothing done with it, really. Baena then finds Pedri again, the number 20. We're a bit ahead of the half-hour mark. Pedri finds Alex Baena on the left-hand side, cuts onto his right boot, the former Villarreal man. Checks onto his left again, but then finds Pedri with a bit of a short pass, so they're forced all the way back towards Aymeric Laporte. Pedri turns away from his man, switches play for Pau Kabasi with a bit of a heavy touch, but he's not under too much pressure, so he can retrieve it. Lamine Yamal picks it up against Conrad Lema. Step overs, goes onto his right this time. He still goes on his right. It's a great run from Yamal. Still going. It's well saved by the goalkeeper. I'm not sure if it's a shot or a cross in the end, but the goalkeeper gets a vital touch. The attack's still alive though. Baena, great reverse pass into the penalty area for Oyarzabal. He finally gets involved. He picks it back up again onto his stronger left boot. Goes for goal. Great save from Schlager in between the sticks. Finally, Oyarzabal gets involved. You could tell no matter what the angle was, because it was a tight angle, he just wanted to get a shot off. He wanted to get that feel in for this one, which you can understand. It's a good save, tip behind for a corner.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. He's desperate to have a pop, isn't he? It's a really good effort right down towards the goalkeeper's left, and he does ever so well to stretch himself into the corner to deny Oyarzabal what would have been a brilliant goal.
Yes, you now see this corner ready to be taken. Yamal hangs it up towards the back post, and the goalkeeper comes for it. He dropped it for the time being, but he gets there on the recovery, and he's just going to take his time with it. Just seeing this chance back. Oyarzabal, it's a great run from him. Got it onto his left boot. It's a good strike as well. Credit to the goalkeeper more than anything, because it bounces right before he makes the one-handed stop. Not an easy save. I think for the angle and his actual body positioning, it's a really good strike from him as well. Yeah,
he gets some real pace behind it, doesn't he? Even though it is a difficult angle, similar to Kane's goal yesterday, second for England. He was in a difficult position, still managed to get a really good shot on goal. Lamine Yamal's just been called offside there, but again, they're looking for him, aren't they, over the top on that right hand side? Of course they are. He's brilliant. He's only 18, but yeah, he's still probably the best player on the pitch, you could argue. Miles offside though.
Yeah, you could argue best player in the world. What I've loved about this World Cup, it's been quite the topic when I've covered quite a few of these games, all the big name players are really stepping up. You don't see that very often, if ever. It feels like all of them are stepping up. I mean, it's been a joy to watch at times.
Yeah, it's interesting because over the last sort of 10-15 years, we've seen this shift in young football fans not following teams but following players. So I imagine it's pretty good for the young fan as well to see that these sort of players are actually doing well on the big stage.
Yeah, Messi scores a hat-trick one day, Kane goes and gets 2, Haaland gets 2, and then Mbappe gets involved with a hat-trick himself. It's been a joy. Michael Olise has been pure magic as well when he's played. He's still not had a goal, which is quite surprising, but 5 assists so far in this tournament. There's a strike from distance from David Alaba that's just gone over the bar. Maybe the first attempt for Austria in this one, or the first attempt in a long time. Anyway, one from distance, like I said, nowhere near challenging the goalkeeper. Yeah,
miles over. Blaze, I think you might be right. I think it is the first shot for Austria. They had that ball into the area from Sabitzer, which just went over Gregoric's head. Not a chance because he couldn't make contact. That's probably the most dangerous they've looked up until now. As you say, that shot over the top. We said early on, didn't we, that Austria tried to maintain possession of the ball. It was they who were sort of trying to control the game. Since the first 5 minutes of the game, the tide's really turned. Spain have had 85% since then.
Yes, you now see Cucurella plays it to the left-hand side. They bypass the press very well to Spain, so they've got a bit of space. Baena cuts inside. He wanted to go for goal. It never really set for him, so he lays it off for Yamal on the right-hand side. He brings it down, puts it through the legs. Good defending from David Alaba. I think what Austria have done pretty well defensively is they've been compact near where the ball is. So if one man gets beat, there's always been another all-white shirt to recover it or get a second challenge in. That's where they've done pretty well on Yamal so far. Yeah,
I was going to say, particularly in this left-hand side, they haven't really doubled up the likes of Alex Baena on that other flank. They haven't doubled up on Arizabal by nature, but just by the fact that it's one striker against 2 central defenders. But here he is.
And it's Arizabal with a cutback looking towards Dani Olmo, just a bit overhit. Dani Olmo can't get there, and the long ball is going to go straight back into the path of Laporte. He then finds Rodri in towards Pedri. Now Austria sat very deep at the moment, which is just inviting so much pressure. Cucurella, lovely cutback for Arizabal, who just passes it into the far corner. He's waiting for his moments, and Spain have the moment in the 36th minute. We just said Austria starting to sit a little bit too deep, giving too much joy to Spain. It's a nice, just calm, guided finish. He's being quiet, but that's what he's there for. Lovely cutback to him, and it is 1-0 to Spain.
Yeah, this guy is absolutely brilliant, isn't he? That's 23 goal contributions now across his last 16 international games that he's started. He's been involved in 4 of the 6 goals that they've scored at this competition. He has been absolutely brilliant. It's a great ball in from Marc Cucurella as well. So often in those situations you expect that whipped ball into the corridor of uncertainty. Cucurella says, absolutely not. I'm going to play it right into the feet of my striker. He does exactly that. And it's a simple tap-in, really. At least it looks like a simple tap-in, because that's how easy he makes it look. But it is a really difficult finish. You have to control it. You have to guide it into the corner. But he made it look easy. Spain have made it look easy. It's 1-0.
See, David Alaba's attempt to block it was a bit strange. He kind of just dropped. A little bit like a fish, weirdly, David Alaba, but couldn't get the block in, and Spain probably a deserved lead, isn't it, in this one? Well, I said probably, absolutely. They've not created big opportunities, but they've been the dominant side so far, and this just means, it's knockout football. Austria just have to open up. That's only really going to benefit Spain even more if they want more goals. As we see a ball at the top looking towards Sabitzer, he can't bring it down. Feels like, as much as it's only the 38th minute, maybe Austria just need to get in at half-time.
Yeah, potentially so. The hydration break hasn't done anything for them, has it? 38 minutes. So we're just a few shy of the 40, and then, of course, we'll have 5 more plus another 3 or 4. So it's a really good moment for Spain. I think that they've got the momentum. Here they come again with Lamine Yamal.
Yeah, and here they come, and it's great from Yamal. He then cuts onto his left. He's still going. What a run from him. Checks back onto his right. He goes for goal himself. Yamal puts it straight down the throat of the goalkeeper. Just wants to get involved, doesn't he, Yamal? Because I think he probably had a better option in just passing it when he opened it up towards the left-hand side. But he just wanted to create that shooting chance, but a simple save.
Yeah, well, similar to Arizabal just before he scored that goal, he had that effort, didn't he? And we said he looks desperate to get a shot off. That's Lamine Yamal's 3rd shot now in the game. He looks desperate to score, doesn't he? The 18-year-old got 1 of the 4 against Saudi Arabia. Only played 45 minutes in that game. Only played 19 minutes in the opening game off the bench. He featured for 76 minutes against Uruguay. I think he'll want to score. I think he probably won't want to be brought off when the time comes, regardless of what the scoreline is. He's not 100% clearly. He's very, very close to it. He started this game brilliantly, and if he keeps going like this, he will get that goal.
Yeah, he definitely will. Or he'll definitely get involved in one of the goals anyways. Do you now see Porro goes in towards Dani Olmo? Great first touch from him. He's in a bit of space. He picks a nice pass for Oyarzabal, shifts it onto his right. Then his left opens it up. Bit of a tame effort in the end that's easily blocked away. And here comes Sivald. Finds Sabitzer, ball in towards Lema. Good work from Dani Olmo to win it back. And Spain are just relentless in ball recoveries, aren't they? And just not letting Austria have any form of time to try and have a bit of possession themselves.
Yeah, as good as they've been going forward, Spain, they're equally as good now at winning the ball back and defending. And they're playing with real intensity, both aggressively in the press, but also when they get the ball as well.
Yes, we now see Lamine Yamal driving forwards. He goes onto his left foot as he's just at walking pace with Konrad Lehmann, then steps inside, finds Porro. His return pass is really poor. And Konrad Lehmann steps in. That did come off Pedri last, and it's going to be an Austria throw-in in the end. So Konrad Lehmann with the ball in hand, and just throws the ball to the ground. He might have a little problem himself. I'll be a little bit tired. I wouldn't be surprised. He's probably covered the most distance. He's had so much 1v1 battles with Lamine Yamal that he's not really had any second to just stop and take time for himself, because he's been defending the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, Lamine Yamal slowed it down for him there, which probably helped, but he's going to inject some pace again in a few minutes. Yeah, it's been a long old 40 minutes. You mentioned the heat. It's around 23 degrees at the minute in Inglewood, California. It's just past midday there. I'll say it's just past midday. It's about 20 to 1 now in the afternoon. But 22. It's not easy to play in, and up against Lamine Yamal, it probably feels about 40 degrees.
Yeah, we see a ball to the left-hand side for Cucurella in quite a lot of space. Down the line for Oyarzabal, who's onside. Not a lot of options in the penalty area. He does well to win a corner, and more defending to be done for Austria.
Yeah, I think Danso has actually been pretty good in this game. You mentioned Alaba putting an interesting attempt at blocking the Oyarzabal goal, but Danso's not put a foot wrong. He's been the one that's winning all the headers. He's going across and making all the challenges. He's looked really good, Kevin Danso. I wasn't the biggest fan of him last season. I mean, I know Spurs didn't play that well, and defensively they were a nightmare, but Kevin Danso's looked really good in this game so far.
There he has done. Centre-half that, like I mentioned, don't know what his future lies with Tottenham, with the amount of centre-halves that they've got. Ball whipped in towards the front post, well punched away by the goalkeeper, and here come Austria on the counter-attack. Is it a good enough ball as Pedro Porras in the foot race does really well to win it back? That felt like a rare counter-attacking chance for Austria, didn't it? That's just a little bit overhit in the end from the corner, and Spain back in possession. It's Rodri now on the ball. He finds Pedri. Back to Rodri again. I've not said Rodri's name too much either. Now it's going to be with Aymeric Laporte. He looks for switch ball. Has he gone for goal there? I mean, that is a random one, and it goes behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, he goes for the shot, doesn't he? Aymeric Laporte saw the goalkeeper off his line, but yeah, absolutely nowhere near it. That's a bit of a let-off. But yeah, Austria with half a chance to break on the counter. They've had that opportunity twice now, Austria, and on both occasions Pedro Porro has been there to sweep it up. He's playing well.
Yes, you now see the forward ball. Cucurella misses out on his header, and here come Austria with a rare chance. Sabitzer to the left-hand side. It's Schmid. Ball to the back post is a decent one. He finds Posh, who turns away onto his right boot. Good footing though from Rodri, who steps away. Now Spain can counter-attack. When Austria are in the final third, they throw a lot of bodies in and around it, so Spain do always have those counter-attacking opportunities. I think Austria, with a little bit more efficiency, could have had a few more chances today. So.
Yeah, I agree. I think they've clearly been told the game plan is we're not going to have much of the ball, but when we do, we really need to try and make the most of it. They haven't, but they've at least, as you say, thrown bodies forward, and that's just allowing the game to be a little bit more open as well. I mean, Austria need to be careful. They've won the ball back here though. Yeah,
and it's a good challenge as well, and it's Sivald driving forward. He's under a little bit of pressure and a good footing from Olmo. Once again, it's that lack of efficiency from Austria. It just doesn't find that pass. It may have even been Javier Schlager driving forwards. It was the number 4, and he's been caught up in the end by Dani Olmo. And once again, Austria wasteful.
Yeah, Unai Simon, very little to do so far. I don't know if that's technically the first shot on target there from Austria. It was more of a sort of double kiss, a collision, and it went through to the hands of Unai Simon. He picked her up rather comfortably in the end.
Yeah, it's very comfortable in the end for him, and once again Austria in a decent position, just couldn't get a shot off. Spain with a reverse pass towards AILFC. He's been tripped down just inside the Austria half. I think he's maybe wanting more there. No, more than just a foul in my opinion, as the Spaniards in the crowd are loving life at the moment, as expected. As this ball to the right hand side for Lamine Yamal, who's once again driving at full speed against Lyman. Goes onto his right, lays it off for Pedro Porro. He hangs it up towards the back post, easily headed away by Kevin Danso again. Cucurella finds Baena. He's got Cucurella for option again. Uses him. Back on the left for Alex Baena. Then it's going to be with Cucurella. Rodri now opens it up, turns away towards Aymeric Laporte. 44 minutes on the clock. Not been too much stoppage, has there? Apart from, of course, the hydration break for a few minutes. You now see a foot in that's going to see Austria counter straight through the middle. Again, ball to the left-hand side for Marcel Sabitzer. He's up 1v1 against Pedro Porro. He cuts inside, switches it to the right with a great ball for Schmid to run onto into the penalty area. He looks for a cutback. It's a decent ball in. Still alive. It's Sievald who turns away from his man. He goes for goal. It's blocked away. Then it falls to Gregoric on the edge of the box, and it's a good foot in from Olmo. And I believe there's an offside in the build-up, which is once again very frustrating for Ranić's side.
Yeah, that all came from Rodri losing the ball, which is not really something that we say very often. And Spain just couldn't really react. They couldn't get the ball back for the first time in what seems like a long time. But as you say, Austria failing to make the most of it once again. They might be a little bit more confident, given that they have seen a bit more of the ball in the last sort of 10 minutes since the goal. Here they come.
Yeah, and here they come on the left-hand side again. It's Konrad Lehmer into the penalty area, cuts onto his right foot, tries to do too much himself. Pedro Porro then steps in, but they look dangerous. It's hard to put into words without them actually really having any shots, but they look dangerous in attack. Pedro Porro, did he maybe go the wrong way there? 4 minutes amount of time. It turns into a good ball for Baena anyway on the counter-attack for Spain. Baena driving forwards with Posh backpedaling. He looks for a 1-2, not a good return pass. They get a free kick in the end. Didn't seem a lot in that. It seems a little bit silly for Posh to even give the referee the decision to make, because it wasn't a great return pass. But this game just getting very open at the end of this half.
Yeah, the mistake was initially not coming towards his right hand side, Kieran, as you mentioned. He had to play it to Lamine Yamal. He was bursting way down the right, and for once, I think the first time in the game, he wasn't doubled up. Had he had the ball, had he beat his man, he would have certainly been through on goal. It would have been a great chance for Spain. Went the other way instead, and as you say, the return ball by Olmo not good enough, but as you say, a free kick, so a decent opportunity to get the ball in the area.
Yeah, as you see this free kick ready to be taken, and it's going to be Dani Olmo, the man over it, alongside Alex Baena. Not going to be too many opportunities remaining in this first half, and it's been a good game so far. It certainly felt like, as much as it's 1-0, if you look at the stats, it looks dominant from Spain, which it kind of has been at times, but it's an open game of football. It's got plenty of talking points for just the one goal to show for it. Of course, we've had the goal ruled out as well from Cucurella, who turned into provider from goal scorer. Baena is actually going to hit the free kick. He's crashed the crossbar, and it's still in the penalty area. Kabasi with a return header. They've not dealt with it. There's Yamal. What a save! What a save, and what a chance that was for Yamal. It's still alive, and a good footing from Schmid. He has to score. Lamine Yamal, a little bit of a difficult angle in the end. That's going to go for a throw-in. What a chance, but what a free kick from Baena.
Yeah, off the bar. Does the keeper get a touch as well? Let's see. It's brilliant from Baena, who's on all the set pieces. Maybe a very slight touch on the goalkeeper. I don't know if it's maybe hitting the crossbar anyway, so it'll probably go down as a save because he does get a touch to it. But then the second one, as you say, Lamine Yamal probably has to score from that sort of situation. You expect him to. You'd put your house on him hitting the back of the net there. But the goalkeeper, to his credit, Alexander Schlager, it looks like it just hits him in the end, but it doesn't. He really has to come across the face of the goal. He has to make up that room. He does it so quickly. Here is Lamine Yamal again.
Yeah, as you see, Lamine Yamal just stopped playing because he thought he was fouled. He doesn't get the free kick in the end. Always plays to the whistle in the end, and I'm sure that's what he's going to be learning. Ball in towards Sievald. Great turn from him, and he plays the forward pass. A strong challenge in on Kabasi, who stays down, rolling round, holding his face. He's not too happy with it. The referee's not stopped play, and all sets of players are a bit confused. The ball's now being kicked out. I think Kabasi just got clattered after putting in the challenge himself.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate one for Kabasi. It's a heavy one. The referee, as you say, didn't stop it initially. Just seeing a replay again of that brilliant free kick. Look how quickly the goalkeeper gets up after the free kick and then comes across, as I say, to make that save from Lamine Yamal, who certainly thinks he scored. Really have to give credit where it's due there for the goalkeeper. Yes, it's a brilliant effort. It's a brilliant save. on the free kick and then the follow-up as well.
Yeah, definitely. As we now see that chance back once again. I think the only benefit that I'll maybe give Lamine Yamal there is it is a little bit of a tight angle, isn't it? You have to hit it pretty sweet towards the far corner for that to end up in the back of the net. But we're now just waiting for the game to resume. It is a free kick on the right-hand side for Spain, I believe. Or, well, no, it's not a free kick. I believe they kicked the ball out of play. So they're just going to throw it back in or potentially get a drop ball in the end. But the 4 minutes are up as well. So we've not got too much longer remaining of this half. But it's been an interesting game so far. Like I said, Spain definitely deserve to be in the lead at the moment. And we're probably going to expect to see more goals. Fingers crossed we get more goals in the second half. Spain do get us back underway. Ball to the left-hand side. And I believe that will be that for the first half. Well, Cucurella had one ruled out that I didn't agree with. Myself and Tom didn't agree with the decision from the referee or VAR to not let the goal stand. But then moments after that, it's a Yazbal strike that separates the two sides. Going into the break, it is Spain 1, Austria 0.
Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Arizabal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. An Alex Baena free kick which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Arizabal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. An Alex Baena free kick which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Arizabal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. An Alex Baena free kick which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Arizabal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. An Alex Baena free kick which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Arizabal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. An Alex Baena free kick which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Arribal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. And Alex Baena free kick, which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Arribal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. And Alex Baena free kick, which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Arribal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. And Alex Baena free kick, which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Arribal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. And Alex Baena free kick, which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Arribal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. And Alex Baena free kick, which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Arribal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. And Alex Baena free kick, which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Arribal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. And Alex Baena free kick, which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Arribal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. And Alex Baena free kick, which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Arribal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. And Alex Baena free kick, which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Arribal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. And Alex Baena free kick, which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Arribal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. An Alex Baena free kick which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Arribal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. An Alex Baena free kick which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Arribal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. An Alex Baena free kick which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Arribal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. An Alex Baena free kick which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Arribal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. An Alex Baena free kick which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Arribal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. An Alex Baena free kick which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Arribal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. An Alex Baena free kick which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Arribal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. An Alex Baena free kick which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Arribal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. An Alex Baena free kick which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Arribal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. An Alex Baena free kick which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Oyarzabal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. An Alex Baena free kick which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Oyarzabal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. An Alex Baena free kick which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Oyarzabal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. An Alex Baena free kick which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Oyarzabal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. An Alex Baena free kick which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Oyarzabal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. An Alex Baena free kick which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Oyarzabal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. An Alex Baena free kick which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Oyarzabal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. An Alex Baena free kick which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They haven't had much going forward though. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0. Half-time, Spain 1, Austria 0, and again it's Mikel Oyarzabal, his third goal at this World Cup. He continues his brilliant goal-scoring form for his country. It's now 23 goal contributions across his last 16 internationals that he started, and Spain could have had more but for Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal, making a brilliant couple of saves, particularly at the end. An Alex Baena free kick which was destined for the top corner, saved onto the crossbar, and then he denied Lamine Yamal with the follow-up. They have.
And it's a warm welcome along to this off-tube independent studio-based commentary and our coverage of the second half of this round of 32. Spain versus Austria. Spain leading by a goal to nil as the second half gets underway. They go from right to left in the second 45 minutes. They're in their usual red with the yellow and navy blue trim, blue shorts, and a combination of all three for their socks. Austria from left to right in the all white. Mikel Oyarzabal, 3 goals now in this World Cup. As I mentioned, it's a brilliant goal scoring run of form for the Real Sociedad man, for his country. He's now got 23 goal contributions across his last 16 international starts. It's unbelievable stuff from him, and it's his goal that's the difference. But it could have been a lot worse for Austria. But for a very good performance from Alexander Schlager in the Austria goal. He denied Alex Baena expertly from a free kick, which was flying into the top right-hand corner. Then he got back off his haunches and denied Lamine Yamal on the follow-up as well. There's a talking to there for one of the Austria coaching staff, the referee Glenn Nyberg, having a quick word with him as play gets back underway. For Spain, Cucurella also had a goal disallowed, unjustly so, according to myself and my co-commentator Kieran Graham. But probably should have counted. It wasn't long after that they actually did get their opener, and it's definitely a deserved lead, Kieran.
Yeah, it was. And he went from non-goal scorer to provider in the end did Cucurella, but they deserve the lead. But Austria, there's something in it. As long as it's 1-0, there's something in this for them, because they look dangerous at times in the final third with just not being able to create the actual shooting opportunity. Let's see if they can change that with the two changes coming into the second half. More forward-thinking midfielders as well. And it's knockout football. If you're losing, you have to go for it.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Two changes for Ralf Rangnick's Austria. Kani Chukwuemeka has come on, as has Florian Grilic. The two going off for Javier Schlager and Nicholas Seewald as well. So two changes in midfield, attacking ones as well. And they have to go for it. As Kieran mentioned, it's knockout football. You have to score. If they don't, they're out. They're going home. So they need to get that goal. They need to draw level. Spain 1, Austria 0. A free kick there, Konrad Laimer giving it away. And the deliveries from Alex Baena have been pretty decent so far. There is a height advantage for Austria, given Spain's front line and midfield aren't the tallest, but Spain have still looked pretty decent from these set-piece situations. Alex Baena and Lamine Yamal over there on the right-hand side in conversation on how to make the most of this opportunity. They're almost level with the semicircle, the D on the edge of the box, but it's right on that far side. It's almost on the touchline. Baena leaves it for Lamine Yamal. Forward onto the corner of the box on the right hand side. That's brilliant from Lamine Yamal. Goes one way then the other. Can't get past Sabitzer the second time of asking, then commits a foul. That'll be a free kick. They're trying to get him the ball on every occasion that they can, but every time they do, Kieran, he's doubled up.
Yeah, he is, and I'd say he's still done pretty well. As Lamine Yamal, he still looks very dangerous. He looks as lively as ever. I think, like we mentioned in the first half, probably still nursing his way back to full fitness. That's great pressure though from Spain, and here they come. Yeah,
here they come. Centre of the pitch. Mikel Oyarzabal gets the shot away, but it's straight down the throat of Alexander Schlager. Had to really spread himself to deny Alex Baena late on in the first half. Couldn't get on the end of Oyarzabals goal earlier in that first half, but it's a simple save for him here.
Yeah, very simple save. Oyarzabal, it was the 3v2. He's in a really good position to go for goal. He's very central as well. Could have recycled it to the left or the right. You want him to be selfish and add to his tally in this one. But yeah, in the end, straight to the goalkeeper and a simple save. Forward from
David Alaba towards the right-hand side. Nodded on by Posh. Kubasi tries to find Cucurella, who sprints across to keep it in. Left-hand side, dinked ball forward towards halfway. Nodded down by the substitute Grilic, but won back by Spain, who are comfortable with the ball at their feet and in the air. Shown there by Kubasi, who calmly nods it towards Unai Simon in the Spain goal. 50 minutes gone. Spain 1, Austria 0. Simon now with the ball at his feet. Forward from him to Rodri. Rodri around the corner. That's brilliant from Oyarzabal. Now here's Cucurella. Towards halfway, Dani Olmo has it. Only two in front of him. One of them is Baena. He gets it now with the ball at his feet. Tries to cut back away from Stefan Posch. It's a touch off the Austrian man and out for a Spain throw. This time on the near side. Spain have scored exactly once versus European opponents in the previous 7 games against them in World Cup knockouts. They've scored exactly once so far. The neutral will be hoping that they can go more than that. They are unbeaten in 5 of their previous head-to-heads against Austria, but Austria have won the only meeting between the two in the World Cup, and that came in 1978. That was a 2-1 victory for the Austrians. There's a corner here for Spain. Alex Baena again goes across to take it. Right arm in the air, and he'll swing his right boot at the ball. Once the referee's good and ready, once he's good and ready, Laporte potentially the target, and it comes. It's a one towards the penalty spot. It's headed up
and away from Arizabal over the bar and out for a goal kick. You don't often see that type of corner.
No, you don't. I'm never the biggest fans when you do. The floated one where it's kind of just fizzed but floated aimed towards the back post, and if it gets any form of contact before it, then it'll be welcomed. But yeah, not an easy header, is it, for Oyarzabal, especially to say he's not the biggest, not known for those situations, but interesting tactic.
Austria, interestingly, have had 5 games in World Cup knockout rounds. All 5 of them have actually been against European opposition, but this is, of course, their first in the knockouts since 1954. Here's Dani Olmo. He's got Baena one side, he's got Lamine Yamal the other, but he goes down under the challenge from Danso. Good strength from the Spurs man. The Barcelona man felt that he was fouled. The referee, Glenn Nyberg, not interested, as Kani Chukwuemeka gives the ball away. That's really poor from him, and here's the only man you don't want to give it away to, Lamine Yamal. Forward to Dani Olmo. Challenge comes in. It's scrappy from Austria. They've just about dealt with it. It's being dribbled clear by Posh, who then loses out. That's a good toe in from Pedri. Baena slows things down, then speeds it up again. Left-hand side into the area. No real support for Baena. Goes backwards. Pedri, Cucurella once more to Baena, who's got his defender one-on-one. Lamine Yamal could only hope. And so Cucurella has it. Across now to Rodri, and they've slowed things down once again, Spain, but Austria looking nervy.
Yeah, they certainly are. Really struggling to get out their own half. Again, you'd think Spain are really desperate for a goal. You'd think that it's 0-0 or they're losing with the way this game is going, but yeah, Kevin Danso, even that, just so bizarre. He could have cleared his line so much quicker there, and he just takes his time and has to kick it out for a throw-in right next to him. It's not the greatest. Austria have not responded very well to the half-time break.
No, they certainly haven't. Here's Cucurella, 53 minutes on the clock. Cucurella would have felt that he should have had his second goal for Spain in this game, but denied by the VAR officials. Glenn Nyberg allowing the throw-in to be taken. Thought we were going to go to a VAR check for something there, but we're not. Here's Pedri round the corner towards halfway for Kubasi. Positive touch out of his feet. And now here's Rodri. Look how much space he's got. Rodri from distance lines one up. It takes a deflection, and it's just wide in the end. He's been relatively quiet in this one, Rodri, but we know that he's got a strike just like that in his locker. Fortunately for Austria, there's a block, a minute one, but one big enough to take it wide and out for a corner.
Yeah, just about big enough for that. And it almost added pace onto the strike. It just almost skimmed off the turf, didn't it? So if it was on target, I think that just nestles into the bottom corner. I don't think the goalkeeper could react to it, but it just trickles wide. And another corner coming up, but it's a matter of time before a second for me.
Baena in swinger, away from Posh. It's going to fall for Lamine Yamal. Great touch from the 18-year-old. Then he gets his dancing feet out, but he's danced too much. He's fallen over. Initially allowed Austria to win the ball back. A sliding challenge comes in on Pedri from Romano Schmidt. He doesn't win the ball back, and Spain have it. 10 minutes gone in the second half, as Kieran says, potentially. Oh wow, look at that from Lamine Yamal once again. Straight to the legs of Schmidt. Can't get on the through ball, but Austria have won it back. Here's Kani Chukwuemeka. He's trying to make up for his earlier error. No foul, says the referee, as he goes down. Spain have still got it. Lamine Yamal's down on the floor. Spain indicated he was going to kick it out. Then a challenge came in on him. The Spain players don't like that. Nor does Luis de la Fuente, the Spain boss. Cucurella the first to go across to the referee and complain about it. Alex Baena, though, has taken it well. He's back up onto his feet. They were just waiting, weren't they? Because Lamine Yamal had gone down. He'd stayed down off the ball, and clearly there was some concern there. He's, I think, just about back to his feet. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Camera pans to Rio Ferdinand in the SoFi Stadium, Inglewood, California. As I said earlier, the home of the LA Rams and the LA Chargers, the two NFL teams. 10 minutes gone in the second half. Mikel Oyarzabal goal, the only thing to separate the two sides so far. Spain 1, Austria 0. Any hope for Austria to come back into the game, Kieran?
Well, there was moments in the first half where they looked pretty good at the end of the first, where they were getting into the final third. They weren't getting the shots off, but I thought maybe that's what they'd adapt to in the second half. They've just really struggled. I don't think the changes have been very beneficial. It seems like they've lost control, if anything, losing Sievald and Schlager at half-time. Spain like I said, I'd be so shocked if we don't see more goals for them.
Baena back to Cucurella. Cucurella, corner of the box on the left-hand side. Plays it across to Rodri, the captain. Swings a looping ball over the top to Lamine Yamal. He's just touched it down for Porro. Round the corner. Brilliant from those two. Great combination. Here's Porro inside the area. His cross is deflected. Should be dealt with at the back there by Austria, and it is. Here's Konrad Laimer, heavy touch, but gets away with it as he skips past Kubasi, who came across to deal with him. Here's Sabitzer. Down the line on the underlap to Konrad Laimer. Gets there in front of the defender. Ball into the area. Looked a dangerous one, but it's a brilliant starting position from Unai Simon to stop that cross in its tracks.
Yeah, you've taken the words out of my mouth there in the sense that it's great goalkeeping. You don't often see that from goalkeepers where they instantly come out waiting for the cross and predict where it's going to go. It's a great starting position from Unai Simon. There's been a few moments in this game from minute one where Austria have had a lot of space out wide and then a lot of space in the middle as well to aim for, where the cross has just been a bit under hit in the end, which has really let them down. That's probably been quite frustrating for Gregovic as well, because it's always been him located in there. I'd be surprised if we don't see Arnautovic at some point soon as well, though.
Baena forward to the goal scorer, Arrizabal, back to Baena. Now he's got a 1-2 with Pedri. Lamine Yamal wanted it. He was finally on his own there, Lamine Yamal, but he never got it. Spain have still kept the ball after a strike was blocked. On halfway, 58 minutes gone, 1-0 to Spain. At the moment, they'll face either Portugal or Croatia in the next round. That one, of course, that game follows this one. You can catch that on this service. You can catch every World Cup game on this service, by the way. As Pedri has it, skips past one, finds another in Baena, who's moved into a more central position now with Cucurella. Then Pedri again. Spain are turning on the style now as it goes across towards the right hand side. That's brilliant from Porro. And here's Lamine Yamal. What can he do from this position? Shot comes in, it deflects not once but twice off the defender, then back off himself and out for a goal kick. He's had 2 or 3 moments like that, Kieran, where Lamine Yamal picks up the ball and you almost go to the edge of the seat because you're waiting in anticipation. And we've said it a couple of times, he's clearly not 100%. He's not short on confidence, but he's not quite been his day yet.
Yeah, it's not, and that's saying a lot because he's still been dangerous, hasn't he? And he's still overall, for your average winger, having a good game. But we just know what Lamine Yamal can do, and we know that he could have had a goal or an assist to his name with the amount of space and time and opportunities he's had in this one. Austria once again just struggling to get any form of possession as Porro puts his goalkeeper under a bit of pressure, but Unai Simon goes along.
Yeah, he's done well to deal with the ball. Just under an hour gone. Spain lead by a goal to 0 as it goes back to Simon. And the flag's actually gone up. I think it was an offside there from Marcel Sabitzer. It will be a Spain free kick, because there's going to be a change or two as well for Austria, where they made 2 at half time. They're preparing what looks like 2 more. I wonder if we will see Mirko Arnautovic, as you just mentioned a couple of moments ago, Kieran, and yes we will. On he comes, the only Austria player at this World Cup to have scored more than 1 goal, and he'll finally have his chance to influence the game. Former West Ham man, of course. Off goes Gregovic, a like-for-like swap for those two. Schmidt has been really quiet. Off he goes, and Kaladic comes on for him. It's another double change.
Yeah, and they've gone to a 2 up top, so they've changed the system. Have Austria 2 more focal point number 9s on together, so that will be interesting. You think they're going to be a bit more direct. Now, get more balls into the penalty area. Sharp turn from Kevin Dancer, and again from him. But yeah, they've just got to be a bit more expressive. There's nothing to lose at this stage, and here they are straight away in one of those crossing positions.
Yeah, Sabitzer has it, swings a ball in. It's a dangerous one, and the man has just come off the bench, gets the head on the ball inside the area. He can't direct it goalwards. It's a first touch though for Sasha Kaladic, and it's a decent effort. It's just over the bar.
I think they've just proved everything that I've said they've lacked since maybe minute 20, haven't they? They need a focal point in there. They need to improve in that sense, load the penalty area a bit more and cause Spain problems when they give you that space, because they do. Because Spain, they do make mistakes and they do push very high. That's a good chance. That's a mistake from Cucurella. Good challenge in from Chukwuemeka. He seems to have played all sorts of positions since coming on. But yeah, that's exactly what they've lacked.
Kaladic, who is contracted to Wolverhampton Wanderers. You may remember he featured a little bit a couple of seasons ago. Here comes Lamine Yamal on the right hand side. Is he going to keep it in? It looks like he has. Forward he comes. The Barcelona man inside the area now. Goes one way, then the other. Draws it towards the edge for Dani Olmo. His shot is blocked. It's bounced away from the final third, back over the threshold of the halfway line into Spain territory. He's finally getting a little bit more room though, is Lamine Yamal.
Yeah, and that's because this game's become quite open. This last 5 minutes or so has been a bit like the final 5 minutes of the first half, where both sides are just so open, trying to get on the attack themselves. Forward ball, Yamal's done great to keep it in again, but I believe he's offside.
Yeah, he is offside. And it will be a free kick to Austria. Spain 1, Austria 0. 62 minutes on the clock. Mikel Arizabal's goal separates the two sides in Inglewood, California. It's been the host of a few games so far in this World Cup. As the ball goes towards Kaladic once more, and finally a focal point they can use here. Austria 1-2 between him and Sabitzer. They then lose the ball on halfway. It's all a little bit scrappy as Lima picks it back up. Kaladic punts it over the top for Arnautovic to chase. Goalkeeper off his line. Simon wins the header. There's a collision there with Arnautovic. Definitely a fair challenge though from Unai Simon. Marko Arnautovic has come off the worst, but that's at least a little bit better, a little bit more hopeful from Austria.
Yeah, a tiny bit better in the end. As you see a whole host of footballing greats there. Chiellini and Carlos Puyol sat either side of women's player Alexia Putellas, and of course the FIFA president Infantino just in front. But I just think as much as Arnautovic and Kaladic have only had a couple touches between them, they've just added a new dynamic for Austria, which makes them more dangerous already.
Yeah, it certainly does. Certainly Marko Arnautovic, 137 appearances now for Austria. Scored 49 goals during that 137 games. Plays his football now for Red Star Belgrade in Serbia. He's come on, as I mentioned. Sasha Kaladic of Wolverhampton Wanderers has come on as well. Spent the last couple of seasons out on loan, or rather didn't feature too much in the back end of the 2023-24 campaign on loan at Eintracht Frankfurt. Did play though 22 games for LASK in Austria, his home nation. 64 minutes on the clock then. Spain 1, Austria 0. And as we take into the final quarter of the game, the referee Glenn Nyberg has blown his whistle. And I thought we were going to go to the hydration break. We aren't just yet. It was actually just to allow a brief break while Mirko Arnautovic was dealt with. He's back onto his feet now, pressing Laporte. Here's Cucurella. Rodri under pressure from Sasha Kaladic, who's done well to win the ball back, and they've kept it in with Chukwuemeka as well. This is much better from Austria. Arnautovic backwards to Posh. Just a little bit more confidence about the trailing side now, with that ball over the top's not good enough. And Unai Simon will collect it. Definitely a different dynamic. Spain yet to make a change. Will they feel maybe that they need to sort of counterbalance those Austria changes with some of their own, or will they just hold their own, do you think, for a little bit?
Yeah, maybe just hold their own. They seem happy to do so for the time being. Lamine Yamal with a back heel on the attack, and that's lovely play from him in the penalty area, and then a good challenge in on from Conrad Lemeron. Lamine Yamal, Spain back on the attack.
Yeah, had his number on that occasion. Here is Pedri. He's pulled to the ground. Referee says play on, as Olmo has it centrally round the corner for Cucurella. Down the line then to Alex Baena, one-on-one with his defender. Stefan Posch moves infield. Baena, then support comes from Olmo. The Barcelona man finds his teammate Pedri. Now here's Porro. Yamal back to Porro first time. Those two between themselves at the moment. Porro retrieves backwards to Rodri. Cucurella, Olmo. It's an onslaught of Spain passing here as Olmo has it, goes for the effort, falls for Cucurella, tries to flick it around the corner, finds Baena inside the box, still Baena across the face of goal, and there's the second, and it's Pedro Porro who gets Spain's second. Well, it was an onslaught of passes and then a simple flick into the area, finished off by the Spurs defender. You can say it's been coming all second half. Spain 2, Austria 0.
Yeah, it has. I mentioned about 10 minutes ago, I'd be surprised if we're not talking about Spain goals again before Austria ones. And yeah, not too shocked at all to see it goes the way of Spain. It's a good header from Pedro Porro, who sits down in his celebration, and they finally just get the joy. It's a ball into the penalty area, very simple. A little bit of what Austria have needed to be doing a bit more. Just a simple ball across the face of goal. It's a great bit of movement. That's the right back bombing forwards, getting involved. I've been impressed with Alex Baena so far. Doesn't usually start for Spain, not play too many minutes for them, but he's been so patient on the left, hasn't he? He's always wanted to get involved. It's a great ball in. It's a great header as well.
It's a first goal for Spain for Pedro Porro. He's actually only played 20 times for his country, the Spurs man, but he would be certainly advocating for him to continue on at right back in this competition should Spain progress, but they look good for that at the moment. Spain 2, Austria 0. We're almost on the stroke of the hydration break. It's a terrible time for Spain, really, to go into that break, given the confidence which will be flowing in their feet now. Spain 2, Austria 0. Orizabal in the first half, Pedro Porro in the second, Alex Baena assisting the second, Cucurella assisting the first, just as Austria were coming back into the game. Just as I asked you, Kieran, should they change it up, Spain, or should they be patient? Well, they didn't really have to wait too long to get an answer to that question. It was, let's just stay with what we've got, we'll get a second. That's exactly what's happened.
Yeah, exactly that. And they're going to make a couple of changes now, I believe, Spain. One of them looked like it was going to be Ferran Torres to come onto the field of play, but there's a little bit of stoppage for the time being because of a free kick. That free kick's being taken, but then the referee decided actually we're going to have a hydration break. So those two changes aren't being made just yet. I believe it may be Mikel Merino as well getting ready to come on, but the hydration break is underway. So a good opportunity for these two sides to just get back in once again. I think Ranić, I don't know what he's going to say to his side. They just have to be expressive. Now, there is simply nothing to lose at this stage. They're 2-0 down against probably the tournament favourites coming into this one. I think since seeing France play, they've probably overtaken Spain in that sense of becoming the favourites to win the whole thing. But I can't confirm that, as we just see them going over to their coaching staff now.
Yeah, it's a tough talk, I think, for Ralf Rangnick, given he's just made those changes and tried to give his side the best opportunity to come back into the game. There are definitely positives to take, particularly in this second half, since Arnautovic and Sasha Kalajdzic have come on. The changes at half-time didn't do anything. As you said, they lost control, but the two more recent changes, they've certainly looked better as a result. You wonder, will it maybe the end of the race for Lamine Yamal? Will it give him the rest that maybe he needs, continuing this journey to 100% full fitness? We're just going to see the second goal back. It initially comes from a Dani Olmo shot, which is blocked. Cucurella keeps it alive. Baena then beats his man, who in truth he didn't have to do much to get past him. But Pedro Porro running into that area. I think in years gone by, that's a central midfielder, isn't it, making that run into the centre of the box, just getting on the end of it, getting himself between the parallel with the post. But so often now in modern football, it's the fullback.
Yeah, exactly that. And the fullback gets involved in goals just as much as wingers these days, it feels. The first goal showed that as well. Cucurella got the assist. Cucurella also scored, and it got ruled out. So yeah, that point is literally proven in this game. Fullback's so involved in the modern day game in attacking ways. It's almost like when you buy a left back or a right back these days, you think just as much of what they can do going forward rather than defensively as well. So it does just show how the game evolves.
Spain 2, Austria 0. You're listening to Off-Tube Independent Studio-based commentary. We've got about a minute left of the hydration break, so it's a good opportunity for me to hand over to Kieran to take you through to full time.
Yeah, thank you very much, Tom. 70 minutes on the clock. Not long remaining in this one. Ferran Torres and Mikel Merino will be entering the field of play now. Dani Olmo will be one of those to make way. And I thought he had a pretty good game. Was pretty helpful in terms of the attack, linking things up. He looks pretty dangerous at times. Awaiting the second man who's made way. I think it may be Baena, but we're not 100% on it. Ferran Torres, I won't be surprised if he's moved towards the left-hand side. Waiting confirmation of it. I believe it will be Baena that's made way.
Yeah, it looks like he's the only one that's changed since the camera moved across. I think it is Baena. Certainly looks as if there's someone new on this left-hand side anyway. I can't imagine Baena's moved into a central position. He's been brilliant. You mentioned he's not
not really first choice, is he? He's not been first choice long term anyway for Luis de la Fuente, but he's been great.
Yeah, and here's Mikel Merino's first touches. He finds Lamine Yamal on the right-hand side, who remains on the pitch trying to get involved in one of the goals. Pedro Porro gives it all the way back towards his centre half. Yeah, now we have confirmation. Baena and Olmo make way for Torres and Mikel Merino. So, Premier League winner onto the field of play in Mikel Merino, who's now on the ball. He's been taken down. Another free kick. Once again, not a terrible challenge. I think the referee proved my point early doors about the referees trying to be a bit more lenient.
Yeah.
No yellow cards.
Yeah, no yellow cards. David Alba's had a couple of dodgy moments, though, hasn't he, defensively? And I think he's maybe one of those players that's just a little bit sort of over the hill, isn't he? He's just a little bit too long in the tooth, and I think you can see that. He's been outplayed by Kevin Danso, the centre half beside him, who, he's no mug. He's a very good defender, isn't he? But Alaba, years gone by, one of the best defenders in the world, you could argue, but he's looked to shadow himself today.
Yes, definitely more of the veteran type defender at the moment, as we now see Ferran Torres going into the penalty area, good footing from Chukwuemeka. I think the two forward changes, I think if they got made at half time, I think Austria could have made more of a game of it. I think Chukwuemeka and Grilic coming on, I don't think that improved Austria.
No, I'd certainly agree. Those were the two at half time, weren't they? I mean, Schlager and Siewald weren't doing anything, but you mentioned about 5 minutes into the second half, after those changes had been made, they just lost a little bit of control in midfield. I think they could have maybe done with losing that if they had that benefit up top, but those changes didn't bring that benefit. It was the latter ones that did.
As we now see the ball with Rodri, he plays it into the middle. Good pressing from Ferran Torres. He forced Austria all the way back to their goalkeeper Schlager in between the sticks, and he's under no real pressure now. Mikel Merino then starts to advance, but it's going to be a sharp turn from Grilic. Plays it all the way across to David Alaba. If you are just tuning in, 73 minutes on the clock. It is 2-0 to Spain, who are heavy favourites coming into this one. After this game at midnight, it will be Portugal against Croatia, and then a 4 a.m. game that will be Switzerland against Algeria. There's a free kick given. Austria can't believe that decision. Marko Arnautovic never shies away from making his opinions known, does he? He's not too happy with that decision. He's probably got every right.
Yeah, I think he's absolutely right. It's a really soft one. It's funny, isn't it? Because 9 times out of 10 those will be given in central midfield, but if that was inside the area, you wouldn't even think twice about it. They'd probably get booked for diving, to be honest. I know not every foul that's a free kick should be a penalty and vice versa, but yeah, really soft one that, so you can understand the frustration. Yeah,
Cucurella ball down the left-hand side. Ferran Torres loses out, but it ricochets back towards Pedro. His ball in the middle is an okay one, but it's going to be ricocheted away by David Alaba. Hooked ball forwards. That's a weird pass from the Spaniard Pedro Porro. He's got them in his locker at times. He's also got the misplaced pass in his locker. He's almost tried to just fizz it with almost the outside of his boot down the line through the centre, and it just didn't really go well. It hammered it straight out for a goal kick on the other side.
Yeah, good challenge there from Cucurella, and again the referee's given a free kick. It's a strange one for me. But yeah, Pedro Porro, I mean, he scored a goal, so we can forgive him, but I don't know what that was.
Yeah, there's a bit of a push. I'm not too sure what's going on here. The referee's just having to stop play at the moment. This all seems a little bit silly. It didn't seem like too much going on there. David Alaba now getting involved. Arnautovic didn't take him long to come across. The referee's taking a step back. He's just going to watch it unfold. It's just so unnecessary, this.
I think you keep your eye out here for hands over mouths talking when this is going on, because they think they probably get away with it, but as we know, you can't get away with anything these days with VAR. I haven't seen any just yet. Yeah, I think it was just one of those where a player's sort of standing over the ball and they get a bit of a shove from the opposition. They go down and make a meal of it, and then the melee ensues. We'll wait and see. We've not seen a replay just yet, but it's tensions boiling over, isn't it? I mentioned Alaba's had a couple of these moments so far where he's been a little bit short in the tackle, a little bit aggressive in the tackle, a little bit late, and I think this is maybe just the fact that it's not going his way. That's just bubbling over.
Yeah, good refereeing there as well. You see pushing and shoving. You see a few players go into it. You see 3 cards come off the back of it. He's not giving any. Once again, like we mentioned that point, he's not giving any, but I think that's fair. No one was overly shoving each other or getting in anyone's face. He just calmed it down. He took a step back, watched it unfold, then spoke to the right people. He spoke to about 4 players at once but it just calmed it down straight away. I don't mind that at all.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I guess the benefit of very few yellow cards means that the chances of players being suspended is lessened as well, isn't it? Which makes it a better spectacle. That's probably, I would imagine, what FIFA have wanted from the referees. Don't give unnecessary yellow cards, because it means that the best players potentially aren't going to be on the pitch in the next game or two, as Arnautovic tries to make something work, but he's been frustrated.
Yes, we now see Laporte ready to take this goal kick. Goes all the way across to his goalkeeper, Unai Simon. Hooks it up into the midfield. And that's a nice bit of play. This is great play from Spain. How easy was that to get through? It's Ferran Torres. He's got an option to the left. It's a bit overhit for Marino, but he gets there. He puts it into the area. Good recovery defended. Kevin Danso's done a lot, hasn't he, in this game? They've given away a cheap corner there. That is terrible from Austria in the end. But Kevin Danso, I mean, he looks absolutely shattered, doesn't he, as he walks back into the penalty area, and you can see why.
Yeah, what's brilliant from Spain is they're so good in that sort of middle third, and then just creeping into the final third at moving the ball really quickly, finding the open space, playing it into players right at the right moment. And what happens then is, when they do that, is they're trying to isolate the defenders. They're trying to move around so much that they get a defender one-on-one. We saw that with Cucurella, and then he got the ball across for the first goal. We saw it with Baena on the left-hand side, got the ball across for the second goal. It's really worked for them, and as you say, a cheap corner conceded by Austria.
Yeah, very cheap in the end. Lamine Yamal, the man over this, he hangs it up towards the back post. Decent delivery and a header in the end from Ferran Torres. Stefan Posch was facing the other way, which maybe just threw Torres off a little bit. Once again, a player not known for his heading attributes. Not many Spaniards are they? But he was flying in there just a little bit off balance.
Yeah, you've got to credit Spain's, I guess, selection of set pieces in this game, because so often we'll see corners now go short, or that sort of ball towards a front post where they just need to beat that first man. So often they don't, but Spain have mixed it up really well. They've had that floated one which led to that Arizabal header. They've had this one which was Lamine Yamal, and it was an away swinger that went towards the back post. You don't really see that, so I think it's certainly going to catch a couple of teams off guard if they continue in this competition. Spain, they haven't really made the most of them. I say they're not the biggest side, but you like to see it.
Yes, now see David Alaba. He opens up, puts it towards the left-hand side. Good ball for Konrad Lehmer. He's got space to run into. A goal around this stage would definitely make it nervy for Spain. Ball in from Sabitzer, well deflected away by Porro and cleared away as well. Is that a nudge from Yamal? No free kick given. Good work from Lehmer as well. Sabitzer checks away from his man, goes onto his right, finds Grilic, who switches play for Stefan Posch, who opens it up, finds David Alaba, takes a decent first touch. Good football this from Austria. Lovely football, and a back heel in the end from Arnautovic, and a strike from Chukwuemeka. Goes high and wide, but it's almost like watching Spain for a second. Lovely one-touch stuff.
Yeah, brilliant. And it's Chukwuemeka's involved. He's not just on the end of it. He doesn't start it, but he plays the ball back across towards that right-hand side. He gets the 1-2. It's a really tight angle. I know I keep mentioning it, but the Harry Kane second yesterday is basically in the same place, except there's a couple more covering defenders, and the angle's probably a little bit tighter. Would have been some finish to find the back of the net there from Chukwuemeka. But again, it's positive. If this was, say, the third group game and both teams were already going through, you would say, there's positives for Austria to take it. It's not. It's knockout football. If they don't score 2 goals, they're out. But they've been good at times in this game.
Yeah, and here's Ferran Torres on the left-hand side as we approach the 80th minute of this game. 2-0 to Spain. It feels pretty comfortable for the victory. Austria just starting to get a bit more dangerous, but it looks like too little too late. Ball in towards Rodri. There's a shove in the back of Pedri, not too much in it. Referee plays advantage because they've got plenty of space to drive into. Marino wants a bit more movement, checks onto his left boot, finds Rodri into Cucurella, and Cucurella goes all the way back for Aymeric Laporte. Now it's going to be Rodri. He could check it in towards Laporte. He does. Laporte through the middle. Decent first touch from Marino. He moves away from his man. Plays it for Oyarzabal. He's just had a quiet but good game, hasn't he, so far? Cucurella with a hooked ball. It's a great ball for Torres. Plays it first time. The complete wrong decision. And that's a free kick now for Austria. Just doesn't seem composed, does he? Hasn't when I've seen him this tournament.
Yeah, he had to go sort of around the corner, didn't he? Back to Lamine Yamal. He tries something cute, tries to play it first time, and it's never on. It'd have to be inch perfect to find Pedri there. If he just takes a touch, turns, he can either get a shot away or he can find Lamine Yamal, who's all on his own on the corner of the box on the right-hand side.
Yeah, it's poor from Ferran Torres. It won't affect the game. They're still 2-0 up with 10 minutes to go, but this game could have been home and hosed there.
Yeah, it could have been. As we now see the ball on the left-hand side in the hands of Konrad Laimer. He throws it all the way back for David Alaba. Now it's in the middle for Grilic, the former Hoffenheim man. Back for the left-hand side of David Alaba again. And towards Alaba on the left-hand side for Sabitzer. He opens up, whips in an early ball towards the back post where Stefan Posch meets the header. Puts it just wide in the end. Well, it was an aerial mismatch between him and Cucurella. He was always going to win the header, but he directs it just wide.
Yeah, it's just wide in the end. He does beat Cucurella, as you mentioned, who probably does just enough in terms of his positioning to put the attacker, or I'll say the attacker is actually a defender himself, isn't he? Just to put Posch off, who wins the header. It's just wide. It's been a couple of nearly moments from Austria in this game. That was another.
Yeah, it certainly was. Well, it's been a very busy summer for Cucurella, hasn't it? Of course, making that move to Real Madrid a couple weeks back. As we now see Spain back on the attack themselves. It's Ferran Torres, looks to check back. Good defending from Dancer, who's claiming that should be a goal kick. He was absolutely adamant, and the referee agrees with him. So goal kick goes the way of Austria. But Cucurella to Real Madrid, it was one that kind of just came out of nowhere. I'd not seen anything in the build-up. There was links with him with Atletico Madrid. But certainly a move that, I mean, you can understand why he welcomed it and jumped the gun straight away.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he is a good player, isn't he? I mean, we've seen that in this tournament. We've seen that so many times for Chelsea. I think it was probably the right time, wasn't it, to move on. Chelsea are in a little bit of a weird position at the minute, and they didn't have the greatest of seasons last season. It's probably the right time for him to move and back to his home country as well. And finally, we have a yellow card, by the way.
Yeah, first yellow card of the game. It goes the way of Stefan Posch. He just lashes out. Cucurella nipped in, got the fair challenge, good defending from the Spaniard. And yeah, it was one of them where he just completely clipped him. Unnecessary, nowhere near the ball. Clears the yellow card in that sense. And Austria preparing a change themselves. Stefan Posch is wearing some form of mask. It's almost like a jaw protection, isn't it? It seems. 83 minutes on the clock. Remains 2-0 to Spain. Looks like Gavi's going to be coming on as well. The number 9. It's an interesting shirt number for Gavi because he's almost a central midfielder, isn't he? And sometimes plays on the left, but has that number 9 shirt. As we see, Lamine Yamal finds Pedro Porro. It's just at walking pace for the time being. The Spaniards. It goes to the left for Laporte. For Cucurella. Back for Aymeric Laporte again. Through the middle for Pedri. He's got options to the left hand side. Good footing, but he's like glued to his feet, isn't it, Pedri? So often in these games. We now see Cucurella finds Marino. Plays in the middle for Pedri. Looks for the return pass for Mikel Marino once more. Rodri, Marino, all the way back, and they're just enjoying themselves now.
Yeah, it's lovely football. Spain, you mentioned France maybe that just edging things in terms of being the favourites. I mean, you could take your pick, couldn't you, between, I think, Spain, Argentina and France. You won't want to play any of them, and Austria are having a really tough time now.
Yeah, they are, and Oyarzabal's miles on side in a lot of space on the left-hand side of the area. Looks towards the back post, it takes a deflection, falls towards Yamal, and it's cleared off the line by David Alaba. Great defending from him in the end. Chukwuemeka Danso's battling for it. He's been fouled. It's great defending from Alaba. Grilic and Alaba are now arguing because Spain just walked through. And Alaba, the leader he is, he's fuming with his teammates.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's brilliant. We just mentioned Spain, just free-flowing passing. You know, they're just waiting. They're so patient. They're just waiting for their moment. In the end, it's not really that good of a chance, is it? It sort of drops for Lamine Yamal after the cross is not really dealt with. It's off the line from the captain, Alaba. I mean, Lamine Yamal must be thinking, how have I not scored in this game? 6 shots he's had, 4 of them on target. 2 of them point-blank range, really, when you think about it, Kieran. He's not found the back of the net. He won't do either because he's gone off now.
Yeah, he's just made way for Gavi. One of those, it's game over, isn't it? In this, it feels, unless Austria would score maybe in the next 3 minutes or so by the 88th. Forward ball down the line towards Arnautovic, who looked miles offside, and he is offside in the end. 86 minutes on the clock. I believe Austria may have just made a change themselves, which we'll await confirmation of, but Gavi's on for Lamine Yamal. I believe we've just seen Pras come on for Stefan Posch as well, so the man who just got yellow carded has made way.
Yeah, maybe no real surprise that just in case, if they are to have a moment of magic, they want to make sure that they do it with 11 men on the pitch.
Yeah, forward ball in behind as Alaba went chasing. He's well intercepted by Konrad Laimer. Schlager in towards Kevin Danso. Goes back to the right for Konrad Laimer again. All the way back for Schlager, who's under pressure from Ayazabal. He's not stopped, has he, in this one? And Antovic wins his header. He's been caught offside again. I think we've just hit that point, haven't we, for Austria, where they're just now getting caught out. It's almost like they know it's game over.
Yeah, I think they do. Not just the scoreline, Kieran, because they haven't played that badly, but I think just the fact that Spain are clearly feeling themselves, they're really knocking it between themselves. They're full of confidence.
Yeah, ball into the penalty area. It's a good one looking for Gavi. It's great defending from Konrad Laimer. As frustrating as Austria have been at times, I think he's been great as well. Of course, extremely experienced, isn't he, Konrad Laimer, from his times multiple teams. But we see Austria now on the counter-attacks. It's Kalajic on the right. He whips in a decent ball towards the back post, just overhit though, and Spain can come away with it. Porro with the ball down the channel, and Alaba's going to recover that. But yeah, it's not the best from Austria down the right. But like I said, I've been quite impressed with Konrad Laimer and Danso at the back today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Danso certainly, and Konrad Laimer, as you say, playing out of position really has been great. Him and Sabitzer in the first half doubled up Lamine Yamal as his powers waned a little bit. Sabitzer wasn't required as much, and Konrad Laimer was able to do it all himself. But Danso has been great. Yeah,
ball towards the left-hand side is a good one for Gavi in a lot of space, but he's on his own and he's not the quickest, so he's just going to recycle it back towards Rodri as we approach that 88th minute mark of this one. Cucurella finds Aymeric Laporte in towards Pedri, turns away from his man, Gavi now. He's going to play it all the way back. Another double change is being prepared for Spain. One of them may have been Zubimendi, which was hard to really tell, and potentially Fabian Ruiz. So a couple of midfielders. Fabian Ruiz I'm a massive fan of for PSG. So underrated in my opinion, and it's hard to really stand out in that PSG side as a midfielder when they've got all those absolute stars. I thought Ruiz, I had him as my player of the tournament in the Euros that they won. I thought he was unbelievable. Cucurella with a great ball in to Ayazabal, and that is just beautiful from Spain, who wrap it up. And Ayazabal is credited with it. It's a lovely first-time finish, but it's Cucurella with an unbelievable ball again. It's the second time those two combine. What a delivery, what a finish. 3-0, and it's a goal that just sums up the Spaniards.
Well, you just mentioned the Euro 2022 when they won the tournament. Spain, they were brilliant. Two players that were brilliant in that, Fabian Ruiz and Mikel Oyarzabal. The second has been exceptional in this World Cup. I mean, yeah, they've not played anyone top tier. Austria are decent, but they're not France, they're not Argentina. But you just get the feeling he will score whenever the ball comes near him. Yes, this chance is really easy in the end, but his movement and the ball from Cucurella is what creates it. That's why it's so easy. We mentioned the first one when Cucurella drilled it at him, and he had to really compose himself to get it and guide it in the corner first time. This one's obviously much simpler because the run was brilliant, the ball was brilliant. Spain have been excellent. I've been so impressed with them. Their performance has been perfect. Let's remember, they haven't conceded a goal yet either. They might be the team to beat.
Yeah, potentially could be, which isn't that surprising, is it? Because I think going into the tournament, they were the favourites. As Lamine Yamal's brother in the stands. It's almost like he was screaming "Vamos" then, but he was loving life, and they all are. If you're Spanish, you must just love watching your nation. They always have done. They've always been very proud on. They've always had a style, and they will. I don't think they will ever change that style they've got. That tiki-taka, beautiful football. It's never going to be a long ball, is it? Which is maybe why we got a bit surprised when Pedro Porro hammered one forwards, and it was really poor, but. That goal just summed it up. What a great goal.
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, Austria, I wouldn't say that they've been beaten up until this point. They're still going, they're still trying, but it's pointless. It's futile. They could run all day. They're not going to get the ball back off Spain. They could play it forward all day. They're not going to create an opportunity to score a goal. You just get that sense. They could be out there all afternoon, not that they'd want to, and they would not score a goal because Spain are so good, and they barely see the ball, Austria, because they're so good at keeping it, the Spaniards. I mean, what a side Luis de la Fuente's got.
Yes, we now see Austria in possession. They're going to go all the way back towards David Alaba. 6 minutes of added time, which is a little bit of a surprise, but we've had a couple of goals in the hydration break, of course. We're a minute into the 6 added on. Of course, in this service, you can catch the Portugal-Croatia game at midnight and Algeria against Switzerland. Neither myself or Tom will be covering those, though. Unfortunately, as we see the ball whipped into the penalty area, cleared away by Rodri. And it's going to go all the way back towards Pras. Finds Grilic. Now it feels like Spain have finally just sat in and allowing Austria to have a couple of kicks at the ball. It's on the far side. Sabitzer ball in towards the back post. Good goalkeeping from Unai Simon, who's had a very simple task today.
Very quiet afternoon, very quiet tournament, Kieran, in fact, hasn't he? I mean, yeah, he's not had anything to do whatsoever. We mentioned the second of the four I guess the third and the fourth of the first 4 changes for Austria being those attacking ones, Arnautovic and Kolasinac, and that seemed to give them something. And if you were an Austria fan, you probably thought at that moment, right, this is our best opportunity to get back into the game. Only lasted maybe 2 or 3 minutes before Spain turned on the style once again and got that second. They haven't looked back since then. Austria barely seen the ball since then. The third is the icing on the cake, and you mentioned potentially some more changes. I think those are going to come now.
Yeah, it looks like Laporte might be one to make way, and he's been very trusted, hasn't he, at the back this tournament? Of course, playing his football in Saudi Arabia, and Pedri's going to make way as well. Special player. He's Pedri. It feels like you never have to say his name and almost raise your voice, because he's never really doing anything that magical or in attack. It's just so simple, but without him, it just doesn't tick. It looks like Pubel is onto the field of play for Laporte, and potentially, it's Fabio Ruiz, so it isn't Zubimendi coming on.
Yeah, it's his first appearance at the tournament, Mark Pubel. Only his third for Spain in total, but he's got a little run out here at the end, which will be great for him to build some confidence and be able to say, I played at the World Cup for Spain. He's very young, isn't he? Still, he's only 23, so I'm sure he'll get more opportunities to do exactly that.
Yeah, and Kabasi, who's not the tallest of centre halves, has just won a header against 6'6". Sasha Kalajic. Then there's a poor tackle in. No free kick given. I thought that was a free kick towards Spain, but Chukwuemeka recovers it, goes all the way back towards Danso. Of course, Pubel, it could have been a very different last season for him. He had everything agreed to go to Wolves in the summer and ended up going to Atletico Madrid, who hijacked it. I'm sure he's delighted with the way that move turned out.
Better weather.
Yes, certainly. And absolutely better football than what we saw from Wolves last season. There's a free kick that goes the way of Spain, just on a random tangent of Wolves. I covered Mexico the other day, and of course Wolves have re-signed Raul Jimenez, who, by the way, I don't think is anywhere near dropping the level to the standards of the Championship yet. He could be very dangerous in that league. I think he could score a lot of goals. As you see, a forward ball, and it's a great forward ball towards Ferran Torres. He's got a chance himself into the penalty area. Very tight angle, goes for goal, scuffs it way wide. Yeah,
it's a terrible effort. And you mentioned that you haven't been a big fan of Ferran Torres in the few minutes that he's had at this tournament, and you have to say the viewing that we've had of him since he came off the bench, I can't imagine your opinions change much, Kieran, and he hasn't done much to convince me either. Certainly, I mean, there's absolutely no question whatsoever. It will be Arizabal to start in the next game, and then if they get through that, the next one and the next one, etc. Ferran Torres, he's not going to overcome Arizabal. He's been exceptional in this tournament.
Yeah, he has, really has, and he's scoring the goals and he's having the output, which is absolutely needed. Long ball in towards Kabasi. He's under pressure from Arnautovic, who just looked like he wanted to shove him over, and the referee's not giving a free kick. Maybe just to be a bit lenient towards Austria in that sense, but that was a clear free kick. 2 hands into the back, overextended. Don't know how they've got away with it, but it doesn't really matter. We've just over 60 seconds remaining in this one. It's going to be a long throw in for Pras to launch into the area. It's a long throw in that kind of just sums it up for Austria, because it slipped out of his hands. It barely went forwards. I mean, it's worked in a sense. They've still got the ball into the penalty area, but it's over here.
Yeah, it was long going up, Kieran, but not going up and forward, which is exactly what you want from a throw, and you don't just want to chuck it to yourself.
Yes, we now see Rodri turns away towards Marino, and Marino then finds it on the right-hand side with Pubel. That's going to be with the goalkeeper Unai Simon. with Kubasi. Unai Simon once again. He's going to look to send it long towards the right-hand side. It's well brought down in the end by Pras. Pras towards Alaba. And Alaba then finds Conrad Lima again. Lima now all the way back towards Kevin Danso. Kevin Danso gets the better of his man, but that is going to be full time in this one. Spain ease their way into the round of 16 thanks to goals from Oyarzabal at the double and Pedro Porra in the end. It finishes Spain 3, Austria 0. Thank you for joining.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck!